I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am about making this video. It's taken me a long time to get the courage to actually start recording this. Here we go. You probably know this about me if you are subscribed to my channel, but I am pretty obsessed with cargo bikes. I've pretty much only started getting into them a few years ago, and last year I was lucky enough to buy my own. I use it mainly to take my children around, and it is amazing. It has changed everything the way I do things. They are phenomenal. When people talk about cargo bikes, one of the coolest, and probably the coolest and most desirable cargo bike out there is an Omnium. If you don't know much about Omniums, they are essentially a very bikey bike kind of cargo bike. It looks like a bike, it rides like a bike, but you have space for as much as you need. And they make several different sizes, so you've got the full length cargos down to their little mini ones that have, like, essentially it's just a big rack. But the whole point of them is the fact that they ride like a bike, but you can use them like cargo bikes. They're very, very cool. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know about the Omnium that I've been working on, and you know that I have built it for one of my friends. I am very fortunate that I have the ability to reach out to companies and say, can you help me with a cool project? I don't use those powers very often. Powers? That sounds a bit weird. You know what I'm saying. I have a friend who has been in need for a cargo bike for as long as I've known him. This friend of mine, I've pretty much known him as long as I've done this Instagram and YouTube stuff. I've done projects with him way back at the beginning of this, and we regularly try and do stuff together ever since. This person runs a community bike shop down in Camberwell in South London, and he spends most of his days collecting stuff, donations for the shop. He does all this on his bike, his normal bike, and I've seen him ride around with frames over his head, over his shoulders, and then a basket piled up with tyres. This person has needed a cargo bike for as long as I've known him, so I decided to use those powers to reach out to Omnium, and I told them all about him and what he does. They loved the story, and they actually knew who he was as well, which was really cool, and they said, hey, let's send you a frame to build up for him, and you can give it to him, essentially, which was more than I ever expected. So in this video, we're going to build an Omnium for the first time on this channel, and we're going to give it to my friend. And before we build the bike, let me tell you who it is. If you haven't already worked it out, I'm sure if you're one of my long-time followers, you know who it is already, but it is Marlon.
Squeeze it again.
I have plenty more to say about this guy, but before we go into more about him, we should probably build the bike. So let's go and do that. Alright then, first thing to put on is very, very important, which is a kickstand. The reason kickstands are so important on cargo bikes is trying to load a cargo bike without something holding it up is the most frustrating thing you'll probably have to do. Next is the steerer. The actual steerer itself ships with a little bit of cardboard in it, I guess to stop it rattling around. So you need to take the steering rod off, then undo the headset like normal, and then you can just pull that out and start putting some grease in it. Next, I bung a load of spacers in, and we needed to get the stem on. I had no idea really kind of like how high he would want it, so I just put it all the way up just because it's probably most comfortable in that place anyway. Time to get the steering rods back on and tightened up. Moving on to one of the most exciting parts of any build, which is the wheels themselves. Me and Marlon have a mutual friend who runs a company called Sentient. They make handmade wheels and some accessories, and they do focus on Omniums. But first, we need to do dropouts. Omniums are actually set up to be able to run at single speed. They even have a little bolt in the frame which you might be able to spot, so you can split it and actually put a belt drive in there as well. So these things are cut out for running pretty much any system you might want to. For this build, we're going to be doing a standard derailleur with cassette, and yeah. Now's probably a good time as ever to say that I'm actually getting quite sick right now, so I'm probably going to get nasally and nasalier, or nasia, you know what I'm trying to say, throughout the video, so I do apologise about that. Moving on to the tyres, back onto wheels. The tyres are from Schwalbe. They were also nice enough to help us out with this build, and sent us out some marathons. I think the front is a marathon as well, but these things are nice and fast rolling, but they've got a little bit of tread on them for winter riding and stuff like that, but the marathons are quite famous for being pretty thick, so hopefully he won't get any flats. Bit of grease, and then we'll get the cassette on, shall we? I don't really use the torque wrench that much on my own bikes, but when you build it for someone else, you should probably make things safe. So I torqued this up, torqued this up, and torqued most things up. Even some people, I torqued them up. That was a terrible joke. I need to delete that. Let's start sorting out the drivetrain, including the BB. For the BB and the crank, I found it really hard to find the right thing or what I thought he would like. So I basically just went with something that was going to be suitable and that would be fine for the time being. A lot of the components I'm putting on this bike, I'm putting on there because they are decent enough. A lot of the hardware, like the handlebars for example, like he might want to change those out to something a little bit more suited to him, but I just wanted to make sure he could ride it for forever if he wanted to, like it is, whilst he sorts stuff out and decides exactly how he wants it really. My friends over at DMR hooked us up with some pedals and grips for this build. I've not used these pedals before. These are the V11s. They're like a nylon mountain biking pedal, like quite wide, quite tough, but and very light. Yeah, not tried them before. I might actually put some on my bikes. Now I love me some micro shift. This is a derailleur group set that I've not tried before. It's 11 speed. It's called the XLE. It essentially is very similar to the Advent X, which is the one I use all the time, apart from the fact that this is 11 and Advent X is 10, but this also has a clutch on it, which is one of the big things about the Advent X. So yeah, I'm keen to find out. I've actually got one of these for myself as well, which I'll put on a bike. So yes, I will. Yeah, I want to look at these a bit more closely. But as you'll see, to set it up is very easy, and they seem very nice. certainly starting to look like a bike, isn't it? I had a few saddles to choose between. I had a few parts just in case I changed my mind in the moment. But for the seat, I decided to go for not a charge spoon, but a turbo. Something a little bit more classic, especially as I've had this in the shed for God knows how long, and I know Marlon likes them, so there we go. I don't think I mentioned it before, but the stem that I'm using is from Raceface. I think it's the Raceface effects. Yeah, I think it's that. But I've got the matching bar to go with it as well. Again, not sure what kind of bar he would want to go with this. I know he likes a wide bar. These are pretty nice and they're pretty decent, and they look cool. So that was the main thing for this build at this stage, was just making sure it looked cool. Now at this point, I couldn't help myself but ride around. I just needed to know how it felt, mainly the stem and handlebars, whether they were like rubbish or not. So I had to take it around the block. I say around the block, around the car park. Very nice, Omnium. Very nice. Just want to interrupt the video for 1 second. Obviously, I'm going to talk about stickers, but it's not just any stickers. A little while ago, a couple months ago now, I released some bootleg logo stickers. You guys love them. They sold out in 24 hours. I've done another set. Brand new stickers, all new logos. There's 4 of them. It's in a pack. And I bought a shed load this time, so hopefully they won't sell out so quickly. They're available on the website now, saveoldbikes.com. Back to Marlon's bike. At this point, the heavens opened and it started to rain, and it pretty much rained on and off the rest of the time I was building. Luckily, there was just enough room in Stayer's workshop, who were very nice, by the way, to let me use the space. Sam and Judith are getting used to me being around, so I imagine I'll be building bikes here quite often. But I did manage to squeeze in and get the derailleur all sorted out, cabled up with the shifter and indexed. You know what I'm getting at here. Building an Omnium is very, very similar to building any bike. The only thing that got me was making sure you have enough length of cables and hoses. The way the routing is to make sure, well, because of the length of the front of the bike, and then the way that the tubing's all set out is slightly longer than you'd expect. So make sure you've got plenty of cabling and hoses if you're doing hydraulics like I was, and then it's fine. We'll come on to this in a little while, but I didn't have enough hose, so I had to order some more. But we'll talk about the hoses in a bit. Let's finish this bit first. Look at that rain. I'm not sure if it was just me, but it took me an incredibly long time to thread the cable into this shifter. This is for the XLE, my micro shift, and yeah, it took me a long time. I'm sure it was just me, but once it was in there, it's fine. You may be able to notice here that the tyre is really wobbly looking. I don't think I mentioned this earlier on. I didn't have the right inner tube for the tyre, so it's currently got a very small tube in there, which is going a bit funny inside, just so I can build it up. I do order some tubes, the right tube, and replace it before I give it to Marlon, just a FYI. And then yes, indexing all sorted out. It was very nice to set up this derailleur and cassette. It was nice. I liked it. that's it really. And that was the end of the first day actually. As always with this channel, I've kind of skipped ahead a little bit and did a little bit without you. All you missed was me putting the rear caliper on and the rear brake lever on. Now we need to bleed it. Before we bleed though, I actually need to fill the hoses. These are new hoses, they're completely empty at the moment, so I'm just going to push some fluid all the way through the system so it's completely full, and then as soon as it's full we can get rid of some of the air that I've just put in the lines. This is me doing the same thing to the front brake as well. Then with your oil cup on the brake lever, you can then pump the brake, and then there's a little valve on the caliper that you have to twist and open to help basically create a vacuum through the hose that kind of gets rid of all the bubbles, and gives you a nice tight, strong hydraulic brake for stopping. One thing I always forget when I bleed brakes, I don't do it very often, is once you've put the wheels back on, you need to pump those brakes because they'll feel really loose, and then you just pump them rapidly like that, and all of a sudden the vacuum all gets in, and then bam, you've got strong brakes. Time for another test ride. Make sure the brakes are all working perfectly and the indexing's all nice and dialed in, and then we're pretty much done. This is my UPS driver. He brings all my stickers and packages to my house, and to Stayer apparently as well. He's a nice dude. Right then, the last things I think are going to be the grips and then the actual cargo rack itself. Here's another one from my friends at DMR. They sent over some def grips for the bike. I rate these so highly. They feel great, they last ages, and they look good as well. There's a lot of good colours, and the collars are interchangeable, so you can change them to match your bike, which is super cool. So thanks again for DMR for sending out the pedals and the grips. The def grips only have one bolt, but they are tapered on the inside, so you can use a hammer to get them on. I quite like just twisting them, and you can get them on crazy tight. They're actually the sort of thing that they're kind of hard to get back off again. Not impossible, don't worry, but that's how strong they are on there. They ain't going nowhere. I'd highly recommend adjusting the front wheel and the steerer up whilst you haven't got the rack on there, so you can see what's going on. It would be way harder afterwards. It's a little bit far, so if you do have someone to help you, that'd be much easier to hold the wheel in place, but it's not impossible. I got sent these fenders from Kinesis a while ago now. This is the Fend-Off Shorty. It's essentially a rear fender, but it's just the half or the top part of it. I thought it looked quite slick on this bike, so I decided to put it on here. But I really rate it. I think it looks really cool, really slick, clean. We talked in my last video about the fact that I'm not a massive fan of fenders. This I like, but I've set it up nice and high so you can fit some massive tyres in there if he wants to as well. But yeah, cheers Kinesis. I think I'm saying that right. I'm probably not, but I might be. The cargo bed, the webbing you do yourself, I kind of lost the footage somehow. I don't know where it is, but once you've webbed that all up, there's 4 massive bolts, and that's it. So the only last thing I needed to do was pop a sticker on his bike that had my face on it. But it's available at saveoldbikes.com, just so you know. This is the part that I usually say we should go look at it, but I'm not going to say that. Let's take it for one more test ride before we give it to him.
Hey, all work, no pleasure. I ain't here to make friends, big stepper. Hey, bad guy, Heath Ledger. Ready for whatever, I'll be front and center. Don't fly too close to the sun, your body chopped up by propellers. Came in arrogant, but left out in a stretcher. The comparison, y'all know y'all couldn't replicate it. Chilling in the desert, I'm good under pressure.
This is the first time that I've actually ever ridden an Omnium, and like properly, that is, round the car park didn't count, but it is amazing. It's crazy how much it feels just like a normal bike. The front end doesn't really feel like it's there. I've ridden quite a few different cargo bikes now, and they all feel like cargo bikes in their own way. This thing is different. I get it now. I really do. But we need to give it to Marlon.
So I've just got a message from him actually, saying he's going to be leaving soon, maybe about half an hour, which has made me feel all nervous and stuff.
So I've had lots of questions from some of my friends who helped me out with the project of how are you going to give it to him, or how did you give it to him without him knowing? And it was kind of really lucky because he texted me that day about coming to Stayer to pick up a frame that he'd had some work done on it and drop another one off. So he needed to come there anyway. I knew he would cycle over, and I knew he would then need a cargo bike to get him home again. I also then had the problem of kind of like, how am I going to do this without like kind of like making it too obvious straight away? I kind of wanted to have a little bit of fun with it. I was hiding the bike behind a van, but he took so long to get there. The van left, so there was nothing there in the end. So when he arrived, it was just there waiting. But he already knew that I was building it for a friend, so he knew it existed, so he thought literally nothing of it. I then started talking to him about what I was up to, about doing the videos about cargo bikes and why they're amazing, and I used that to get him in position with a microphone and all the cameras in his face without him knowing what I was about to do.
Come on then.
Hi. Got microphone on, so obviously. Yeah. Hi.
So do you like, so for people that don't know, who are you?
My name is Marlon.
Yeah, and
I
what do you do?
Babylon London Bikes.
Yeah?
You should know.
You should know. I talk about you a lot.
Yes.
And this is, I take it this is a daily occurrence of you kind of coming along, bringing frames around, picking stuff up, and you carry it around on your bike like that?
Yes. Obviously less and less so as I'm moving to millionaire status.
No, of course, of course.
But every once in a while I still have to, yeah.
So the question to you then, so I would say you're the perfect case study for one of these, which is the Omnium cargo bike.
Absolutely.
And as you're fully aware, you saw that this bike here is I've built from one of my friends.
I'm one of your friends, aren't I?
It's your bike.
Perfect, done.
I'm not joking.
Oh.
I built that for you.
No, don't do that. I'm gonna cry.
That's the plan.
If you mean it.
I 100% mean it. That is your bike.
No, wait. Wake up, Marlon. You're not kidding?
I'm not kidding.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me cry, dude. What?
It's been a long time.
Craig, what are you doing? Really?
This is your bike.
Oh my God. No way. You mean?
I mean it. It's your bike.
I love you anyways.
No, I know.
What the?
I built this for you.
Why?
Because you can.
Oh, magic, bro.
Since I've known you, we've talked about how good cargo bikes are and how much you need one of these. So,
What the? What
we made
Oh my god.
that a lot of people help me with it. There's a lot of people, and you'll find out who they are very soon. So if it's cool, can you ride this home tonight? Because it's been in my way.
Yeah. I thought when you posted that thing, I was like, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be like, oh, I'm one of your friends, gonna.
Yeah. No, you're the guy.
I watched a really sad movie not long ago, so I think my tears are all out. But otherwise,
No,
I'm
no,
fucking
it's
crying.
fine. I can see it. Do
Oh my
you
god.
want to ride it?
Woo. There's nowhere to go. Oh man, you're the best, dude. Absolutely the best. Let me run you over. Holy sh!
Enjoy your new cargo bike. You deserve it. No more logging things around under your arm. So excited to help you have this new power vehicle to bring everything that you do, your workshop, to the next level. Love you so much. Bye.
Exciting day, mate! So happy you're getting that bike. I'm a bit jealous, but you definitely deserve it, so enjoy it.
Hey, he's finally getting one. I know you've been looking forward to getting one of these for a long time, so I really hope you like it. Really happy to have been a part of it.
There are times to be serious and times to be joking, but it's one of the former important change in your life, in the life of that person who likes to do stuff with bikes. Well, good luck with the new utility contraption. It will be a bit sad not to see you struggle with all the shit you had to carry before, but that's the nature of progress.
Can't wait for you to get your hands on this bike. You are going to love it and you fully deserve it.
Not gonna lie, I think I've run out of words. Yeah. All I'm gonna say is this has been a real long time coming. Lots of things have happened this summer in between me coming up this idea and getting to the point of releasing this video. And there's so many people I want to say thank you to. You all know who you are, and I will probably do it to your face at some point. But a shout out to Omnium, obviously. It wouldn't have happened without the gesture from you guys, so thank you so much. But also thank you to all the other companies that sent me parts and helped me with components throughout the whole process. But it's been a really fun mission to accomplish, and like I said, there's a lot of people that helped me out of it. I had people trying to work out which his favourite colours were, and kind of like his favourite types of components on bikes. I even have our friend Tullen at a group ride in the summer get him on an Omnium to ride around in circles to find out the best fit and things, and also just because I thought it'd be really funny to get a clip of him on the bike.
This is the full cargo. Super rad. All right, I'll have this one, I'll have that one. Who's next? This one on the front.
But this is certainly not the last time you'll see Marlon. I feel like we should do a build with him on the channel. I feel like we need a Omnium review from him on the channel. But also he's one of my close friends now. Like, I love him to pieces. He really deserves this, and I'm very grateful to be able to do it and give him this bike. Not the way my videos end really, normally. But yeah. If you enjoy bike content, builds, making people cry, subscribe to the channel. It's completely free, helps me out a bunch, and I make some very nice videos about bikes. And if you can't wait till the next one, that one there is a particularly good one.
Made it home, dude. In one piece. Love you. Thanks so much, man.